Welcome to the Freedom Show. I'm your host, Danny Savage, with special guest Orrey. What's up, guys? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I just want to say thank you for tuning into the podcast. So we are going to get right into it. Our topic for the day is social media and our faith. So the question that me and Orrey kind of came up with and we were thinking about it is, why is it that we don't really see a lot of things about one's faith on social media? And we actually looked up, we'll read you guys the results. They actually did a test. They did an analysis of it, and we'll read you guys that results later on the show. But it brought up to our mind, like, man, why is it that we post about our day? We're at a steakhouse, we're posting about all these different things, but you don't really see a lot of posts about your faith or your belief. No matter what your faith or what your belief is. Like, we'll post all day long about, hey, I'm at the gym working out, or, I'm having Popeyes for lunch, or, somebody sent me a cool card, in the mail, whatever it is. It's So our question for you guys, and our question we're going to talk about on the show, is our faith in social media. So what's up, Orrey?
What's up, man?
How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Pretty good?
Yeah. I didn't get that much sleep, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's all right. We're gonna get this all figured out for sure. So, man, my question for you is, how often do you post about your faith?
I post about my faith mostly, I'd say probably weekly, like every other week.
What specifically do you post about your faith?
Basically, I just I try to help. I try to post specifically, like, I hope everyone's having a good day. Stay blessed, and I try to encourage other people and try to spread positivity on my Instagram or whatever social media I'm using. And I try to do that because you never know what's going on in someone's day.
Right. Now, that one post could change someone's perspective or give them that ray of hope, or, that extra reassurance of faith that they need.
Exactly. And it's like, planting the seed.
Right. So like about once a week?
Yeah.
Or is this like something you just see on your Instagram wall or your Facebook or whatever, and then you're like, oh, I should share that? Or is it something like you actually set time out, like, hey, you know what, I need to post something to help somebody?
It'll be both. Actually.
Yeah,
it's both. It's really it depends on how I feel, and I want to spread the word and try to help others. You never know what's going on in their day. Right.
No, and I think a lot of people, they don't really tell you those deep, dark things that's going on. I personally do it. If someone comes up to me and is like, hey, how are you doing? I'll literally look somebody in the eye and be like, I'm doing great.
Yeah.
But inside, I'm just like being tormented. I'm just like, no, I'm actually, if I was to tell you the truth, sometimes I'm having a complete crappy day. It's horrible. I'm just like, man. But you're so programmed, you're so built to, hold all those things in. And especially, that was we'll probably do a podcast about this, but just talk about it really briefly, is like, for our society, men especially, we're built to internalize things. We're built to be like, no, I'm not supposed to talk about my feelings.
Yeah, especially that's toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
People are going to be like, oh, he's a man, he can't he's not supposed to cry.
He's not supposed to want to hug.
Yeah, he's not supposed to hug you.
Yeah.
It's all that mentality, and especially around social media, it's posted everywhere, Men
right.
are always lifting weights, saying, oh, this girl did this to me, so I have to lift weights because, I'm a man.
Right. Right.
Exactly.
But they're crying on the inside. Like, I'm a big baby. I'll cry.
Yeah.
I'll cry over a movie like Titanic, or some other some other romantic thing. I'll cry. I don't mind crying. I'm not afraid of crying. But I want to say, generally speaking, for a lot of guys and a lot of men, I noticed, and I know for me myself, it wasn't even something I knew that I was doing until I seen some other guy that was posting about, his stuff. Like, who do guys turn to? Like, girls most of the time have a girlfriend or somebody else that they can turn to, like their mom or somebody like close. I mean, most of the time I'm just talking to my girls about this, blah blah blah, whatever, right? And it's like, guys, like, dude, I couldn't imagine calling you up. I'm going through like a crisis at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, dude, I just want somebody to talk to. I'm gonna call Orrey up.
That's what I mean. I think that's the hard thing with having faith and being a guy is calling someone up and literally just crying.
Right.
Like, and just being like, like, I had this rough day, like, bro, like, how you doing? Like, I don't even know what I'm doing.
Right.
I'm like just trying to get through the day. And I literally actually just had a phone call with one of my friends, Ramon, and I literally called him and I was like, dude, like this is crazy. Like, I'm having a rough day.
Right.
And like I was crying
and having that confidence that you can be open and honest.
Yeah.
That's super hard. And I think, to get back to the social media topic, I think that is what programs us into a lot of those mentalities. Before social media, it was always the masculinity and femininity split. Like, you guys aren't supposed to have pain. Like, they're supposed to suck it up and drive on. The women are the childbearers, so they go through a hell of a lot of pain, and they're allowed to complain about it. And be emotional, because women are emotional creatures and men are supposed to be physical creatures. So you really had this whole split, when really we're all emotional creatures and we're all physical creatures. We're built that way. And this goes into like how Eve was made from Adam's rib. So if Adam didn't have any femininity to him, or have those things, then God would have never made Eve from Adam. It would have been possible at all. So getting back onto social media, you're right. I really feel like social media programs us into that. I don't think, it's very, very rare that I'll come across the guy's page or post where he's posting, especially about his faith, but emotional fragments, that's outside of, hey, I'm doing great. I'm solid. I'm doing well. I'm doing rad. I'm doing cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, getting onto that, the social media topic is just like, I really wanted to talk about this because it was like, how often do we talk about our faith on social media? And it's not to sit there and say, dude, that's where it's like you have the other people. That's all I have a few people. That's all they do is post. God this and Jesus this and religion this. And that's all great. And if that's what makes you, that's what you want to make your life about, that's awesome. Then you have the other people that they don't ever post about it. And it's like, dude, I didn't even know he was a Christian. That's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the thing, is you really want to be around other Christians.
Right.
Is because like you never know who is a Christian or who isn't a Christian. And that's the good thing about being a Christian. Is
so that brings it up, right? How do you tell a believer from a non-believer?
How to tell a believer from a non-believer? I think you just their presence, maybe.
Do you pay attention? Do you watch their? Okay, so you're at a job, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not many people. There's like two major things that people don't talk about. It's like one of the rules, right? The invisible rules in a workplace is you don't talk about politics and you don't talk about religion. Those are two big things, because like me and you could be best buds.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're a Democrat and I'm a Republican. And then all of a sudden I can't stand you because of your political views. So, or I could be a Muslim, or an atheist, or just a non-believer whatsoever. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh, you're a Christian. Oh, bro, you suck. Like, I can't even talk to you no more. And then all of a sudden now I just put this whole thing on you. I don't like you for some personal choice that you made, right?
Yeah.
And it's completely crazy, because your personal decisions don't define
who you are
as a person. Right. It's collectively it's who you are as a character, and if you're a believer, then as a believer you're supposed to walk a certain walk, right?
Well,
Your character,
walk with faith.
walk with faith, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not running into your workplace saying, "Oh, guys, guess what? I'm a Christian. Hallelujah. Praise. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you for this water. And God bless you." If you're doing that all the time and you're super announceable about it, then yeah, people are going to be like,
this guy's a weirdo.
Or he's a Christian. And yeah, it's going to be like, yeah, all completely obvious. But I want to say, because of that little rule, like, you don't talk about religion, you don't talk about politics, right? People don't go into, majority of people don't go into the workplace saying, God bless you. So it's, with that being said, I'm a believer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working with you at a workplace. How can you tell that I'm a believer if I'm not announcing it?
By the way people portray themselves? I don't know. That's
okay,
a hard question.
Okay, so, here's an example, right? Here's an example. Me and you working in the same place. We have other workers, other coworkers there, right? And I have a boss. I have a supervisor who's targeting me. Maybe he doesn't like me because I got tattoos, or I remind him of that guy in high school that stole his girlfriend or something. Just whatever reason that people target people, which is normally, it's insignificant and it's irrelevant in Stratus, right? But I got somebody targeting me, and he's always getting at me, to the point now I'm getting pissed off. And now I'm feeling like, why are you coming in polluting my work day? Why are you coming in targeting me when you have all these other things to do, right? So now I'm getting angry. There's a confrontation. And then me, as a believer, Jesus instructs us that when we're going through things, number one, it says, you're allowed to be angry. I'm allowed to be upset. I'm allowed to be mad, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it says, be angry and sin not, right? So when it's talking about sinning, like, where at what point does that anger turn into sin? That anger turns into sin when I choose to retaliate, or I choose to call this guy disgustingly fat pig because he won't stop harassing me. Now I gave into that carnal self.
The anger?
I gave into the anger, right? Like, I can be angry and still be a Christian. Like, I can, I talked to you about this a little bit early before the podcast. Like, even Jesus got angry when he was in the temple, and he's like going there throwing a fit, like trashing the temple. Like, you turned my father's house into a den of thieves, because people were doing transactions and stuff instead of going there to enhance their spiritual growth.
Yeah, it's exactly like how when I was at Bible study, this guy had his coworker, and he was getting angry at him because he just could not get along with his coworker,
right?
His boss,
right?
And he was getting angry,
right,
at his boss, but he's not even sure if his boss is a believer.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
So I think that during that time, if that guy was like flip out, cuss him up and down, and just be very hateful, that I think that people wouldn't say, well, you know what, this guy's a Christian, you know what I mean? But if he handled it calmly, if he handles that anger appropriately, and if he's like, you know what, man, it's just, I don't know what's going on, I don't know what you're dealing with, and he talks to him out of the spirit of love, which is, God is love, right? And he's practicing his faith, because that's what the Bible instructs us to do, that people will see that. And even if they don't know what a Christian is, or know, like, this guy's a Christian, I guarantee you they'll be like, man, how did you handle that? How did you deal with that situation? Like, there's no way I could do that. How did you deal with it? And then now he gets to use that time to witness, be like, you know what, this is what I handled it this way because that's what Jesus instructs us to do. That's what God told me to do.
Yeah, it's especially hard at like workplaces, environments.
Mm-hmm.
At whoever you're working with, everyone's different ethnicity. Everyone's this, everyone's that. It's hard. Like,
right.
Everyone's got a different religion. Everyone's got this. It's hard to spread your faith and be able to, just walk with faith.
So do you think that we really set the example of our faith by our actions and our character?
Yeah.
Like who we are?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really think so too. And I think that ties right into social media too. It's like, I'm gonna practice more on. I really was encouraged when you said like you'll see something, you'll come across like a post, or you'll just feel like, hey, you know what? I don't know what someone's going through today. And you'll be led by the Spirit. You'll be led by God that puts it on your heart and that says, you know what? Maybe there's only 5 people that views your post,
Yes.
right? But 1 out of those 5 people are going through a depression,
Yeah,
or
they're going through some hard shit.
and you're just like, okay, and that one post could have been the determining factor on whether they committed suicide
Exactly.
or did something impulsive or
That's what I was
irrational.
just gonna say is like people commit suicide, and that's exactly what it can save someone's life.
Yeah, true facts. And you know what? Most of the time, I bet you we won't even know it.
Yeah.
We won't even know it.
Exactly.
But if we instill that practice into our lives, not only are we taking Facebook and Instagram and social media to a whole different platform, because I know a few months ago they shut all that down. They shut Facebook, Instagram, they shut all that down for a day, because that chick came out and was saying, hey, Facebook, they're generated towards discrimination and hateful posts and violence.
Which chick?
Man, I can't really remember her name. I know she was coming out about it, and I heard it on the radio. And then within an hour of this chick going public about it, doing the news conference, Facebook shut down, Instagram shut down, and everybody was in panic mode, because they didn't just shut down for an update or something. They shut down for almost a whole day.
Huh.
And people couldn't post. You couldn't log into your account. You couldn't do anything, right? I'm sure a lot of our listeners remember this, right? So I was like, wow. And it was because this lady came out and said, oh, you can flag someone's post. You can notify, Facebook.
That's the other thing I was thinking about social media, is how social media blocks faith. Like how they'll block like whatever you post on there, because they just don't want it on the internet.
Right.
They don't want that.
Right.
They want people posting pictures of what other people feel good about.
Right. Or 2 homeless guys fighting over a piece of bologna.
Yeah. Like me and you, if we were fighting over bologna. That's basically what would happen.
Yeah. Me and you were fighting over a piece of bologna, dude. That would go viral.
At Safeway.
For sure. At Safeway. Over nothing, and then we would be famous.
Yeah.
For fighting over bologna at Safeway. The Bologna Brothers fight.
Yes.
That's probably what it'd be called. Right? And then, but if we're over there, you know what? There's an awesome God out there who's going to help you through your struggles in life, because we all struggle.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, yeah, let's shut that down. Let's not put that on people's stories or posts, or, we don't want people to see that.
Yeah.
So it's like your mom. Views it. And it's crazy.
It goes with the Childish Gambino song where he's like, "This is America," and everyone's like pointing their phones at whatever they want to record, but they're not spreading their faith or whatever.
Right.
I don't know if you've seen the Childish Gambino.
No.
Oh, I'll show it to you.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Let's see it.
For sure. Yeah, so that brought it up, man. I was like, man. So I wonder, because I get a certain amount of views. Like, I'll post Savvy, my dog. I'll do Jeep stuff, motorcycle stuff. I'll do silly videos, funny videos, and there's a certain amount of views that I get almost every single time. So I wonder if I post something about faith, I just want people to be encouraged today. Take 5 minutes to be thankful.
Yeah, how many people are gonna be like, oh, that's not interesting? Swipe.
Yep, swipe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
There went 5 cents I could have made.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so that's the whole thing in a nutshell. Is just it brought it up, man. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do the other podcast about the the walk
with faith.
The walk with faith.
Is that the other podcast?
No, the masculinity.
Oh,
the awareness of that guys need somebody
toxic masculinity.
Toxic masculinity. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, because I think our listeners really need to become aware to that. Mm-hmm. And at least it's an interesting conversation that you and I could have for sure.
Yeah.
But
100%.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and All right, guys. Hey, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for listening to The Freedom Show. I'm your host, Danny Savage. We will see you guys next time with special guest Orrey. I hope you guys have a blessed week, a blessed day, morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time it is you're listening to this podcast. I just want to say thank you. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can email us directly at frdmshow@gmail.com. That's frdmshow@gmail.com. All right, guys, stay blessed. We'll see you guys next time.